even like you mentioned the studio that burned down. If that didn't happen, you wouldn't have gone to the other studio and worked with that DJ. So like,
yeah. It's all divine. That's what my brother says. Cause I'll be like, man, this is crazy. Like, this just happened. This happened. Like, bro, that shit crazy. He's like, nah, man, it's divine.
It's divine.
Like, it's divine. It's all happening for a reason.
We just don't see it yet. Like for some reason, it's not meant to be. But that's the uncertainty of it. I think there's a famous quote: "Everything you want is on the other side of fear," and the fear is the uncertainty. It's an illusion. Most people think it's like.
I have another bar where I'm like, to live my fullest potential is probably my only fear.
Yeah,
like,
that's so true.
That's my only fear.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sound 14 podcast. Today, I'm here with KJAY. How's it going?
How's it going?
Yes,
glad
sir.
To be here.
Yeah, glad to have you, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I know you reached out to me about last week, and I was like, I'm glad to have you. And I even, like, once I saw your profile and shit, and I started listening to your music.
Yeah.
And I think your new song, or not really new, but The Answer.
Yeah, that's the latest one.
Yeah, your latest one. I've been listening to that on repeat like this whole week.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That one, I wasn't sure how people were going to receive it, but it was just something that I felt like, all right, it's right to drop this right now.
Yeah. Was it different than what you usually do, or what some new idea came and you just wanted to
I always just create off how I feel. So it's like a vessel.
Yeah.
That, when I listen to the music and then I just express it. It's my expression.
Yeah, definitely. I think music in general is like the purest form of expression and art. Like it just, whenever I listen to music, no matter how I feel or do anything, like there's I could always feel emotion with music. So like there's something that connects right away with your soul with music, which is amazing.
The frequencies even, like you're saying, they connect with your soul is deep. I'm still, it's a weird understanding. I don't know. There's a lot to it.
Yeah. When did you?
It's natural though.
When did you start making music, or how did you start? What inspired you?
Ever since before I even knew how to spell correctly, I was writing songs. Me and my cousin. Before school, my grandma, she was a crossing guard, so we were there early. And then we would spare time, we would just write songs about whatever.
Yeah.
But and like holidays, we would perform little songs we would make for the family. So ever since I remember like music, I had a microphone in my hand or something else that would look like a microphone. But always was a part of
your expression,
my expression.
Right? Yeah.
I was just connected to it.
Yeah.
My dad always playing music. So
yeah, I think everybody has like some type of expression, like creatively, because I think even if it's music, for example, music is one, painting or anything like digital creation, that's all part of your creative creative making. And I think every single person has when they find their thing, like their creative outlet.
Exactly.
That'll change everything. Like you'll live a so happy every single day just from doing it.
Yes.
Just because you know that that's your thing. You know?
And daily I tell like my people like 3 things. It's like our consumption. Like we can't control that. Like you're gonna consume things, whether it's food or music or whatever you consuming, and then
TV, social media, whatever,
all that. And then it's your filtration. Like, how do you filter that? Like, I feel a lot of us struggle with the filtration, and that comes with the expression, like the third one, expression. And I feel like that keeps the cycle like healthy inside. And a lot of people, they're either distracted by the consumption and they're not filtering and expressing. And then, there's a lot of people with anxiety now and shit, but I feel like it's that filtration and expression that people need to just it's there. Like you don't even have to really search for it, but you do at the same time.
Yeah, it's like it. I think of it as a car, like your consciousness and your mind. You could either be at the driver's seat controlling it, or you'd be in the back seat and it'll still be going. Like there's no gas pedal or stop. Like it's just gonna keep going. Time doesn't stop. You're gonna move through life.
Yep.
But you could either be in the driver's seat controlling exactly where you want to go, having a vision for your life, or just like
on
fucking
the road
off.
you want to be on.
Yeah.
To the destinations you want to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a weird thing learning about life, and especially with books and people that have learned it. Like there's been philosophers and people who have thought these ideas through. And that's the only reason I talk about this stuff. I talk about mindset and thinking and imagination and stuff like that, because I'm not thinking any new idea here. Like this has been thought about for thousands of years before me. People have already had these ideas. Yeah. And all I'm doing is understanding it. And when you understand, the awareness for it comes, and that'll fucking change your whole life. Like
the alignment. Yeah,
alignment. Basically like feeling, stuff like that. Yeah.
And just being like aware to what's in front of you, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because I always understood that whatever is around me or my circumstance and stuff is some things I can't change. Like physically, I can't change it. And in order for me to be happy, I shouldn't have to change the outside world. Like it should let all that be. Mm-hmm. And I just need to focus on me. And the second I did that, I became 10 times more happier. Like what you were saying, creatively, you become more creative, have better ideas.
Yeah.
You're just flowing through life easier because you're in that perspective. It's not like you did something to your body, like you rewired it. Like you just thought different and you perceived.
For that, nothing. Yeah.
Your perception changed, therefore everything, like your whole reality changes.
Yeah. And you see it in your daily life.
Exactly.
It's different.
Yeah. And talking about like perception and reality and stuff, we were talking earlier about the metaverse, which is going to be insane.
Yes, that's a new topic that I'm just learning about too, man.
Same.
But it's a game changer. It's a game changer.
I don't even know that much about it, but the companies and people that are talking about it are hyping this shit up. Like whatever it's going to be, they're saying, or for those who haven't heard, Facebook changed their name to Meta, and they called it like they have a bunch of companies. They call it the Metaverse. So they have Oculus, which is a VR like company.
Okay.
Yeah. And Facebook, of course, Instagram. They have a bunch of social media
powerhouses.
Powerhouses that are just like the top social media platforms in the world, right? And they're now saying that those elements of the company are not our primary thing. You know, like they want to venture out into this digital world, this AR, VR experience. So
in the actual space.
That's going to be insane.
Virtual is going to be insane.
So they're trying to create a whole world that's digital. So
I was saying earlier, before we hopped on here, I was letting them know that I just found out Walmart is actually creating this little community, little city out in the desert. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be, the future. It's looking futuristic. People can apply now, but they can't even live there really? Until like 2030.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah, things are changing.
That's insane to me.
And I like what you were saying about life earlier, like ideas have came to us before, but like back then it used to be a lot different. Like now I feel technology is what's running.
Yeah.
That's it. That's running.
It's become too much of the technological digital space and not enough soul,
physical,
like not enough feeling.
Yeah, physical and feeling, like that's deteriorating. Like the pyramids, like the arcs, like the strongest thing to hold up anything. Like
it seems like
that's going away. Like that's going away. It's just things that you can't feel. NFT.
Oh yeah, NFT.
10,000 and I can't touch it. I can't hang it up on my wall. I can't do anything with it. It's pixels.
Yeah,
but
it's a different time. Strange times. I think we're just not used to it. We're not accustomed to it. These ideas seem really foreign of everything being digital.
The movies is coming to life now. So
everything. It seems, everything's going digital, and it might be in part because people and human beings in general have done a lot, like in this physical space alone, like buildings and shit, building these spaces and building cars and building bridges and dams and all this infrastructure and all this technology that now we're like, okay, that's cool, but how about venture out into this new era? Like, so what that I just had the connection of like people a few hundred years ago were venturing out, or a few thousand years ago were venturing out into new land, right? Like they wanted to go to a new destination. I mean, that's why.
Yeah, and now you're trying to go outside the universe.
Into this new dimension of sorts.
What do they call it?
Yeah.
They changed the uni.
Yeah, it's like Columbus was trying to go into, or came here to America, this new land. I mean, it's not new, but it was new to him. And now it's the same thing happening.
Same thing.
Yeah.
On a different level. Yeah.
It's crazy. I just made that connection. I'm like, holy shit, man. That's what's happening. That's what's happening.
The universe is no longer, they changing it. They exploring into the outside.
Yeah.
It's the meta. It's the metaverse.
And I think there's going to be more than one. Like, that's just Facebook. That's
Amazon's Facebook. A powerhouse. Tesla's a powerhouse.
Yeah. Imagine that. Like, you get to pick which one you want, and you could go in that universe, whatever.
Yeah.
It's going to be different. But I think for now, I still enjoy this world. Like,
I'm appreciating every second. I got to be... The gratitude is gotten higher, I feel like, since I heard about all this. I'm like, man, because it even makes me like, I see the young kids on their phone, like glued to the screen. I'm like, they didn't grow up. Like, we were the last generation that grew up like, oh, let's ride the bike out to the
I don't even see kids in my neighborhood like anymore.
Like, I want a scooter for Christmas. Or like, I'll take the new phone or
iPads and this and that.
Yeah.
All that's gone away. And it's, we, like you mentioned earlier, I think that it might be good, it might be bad. Like, we don't know for sure, but
there's going to be both.
Yeah.
Cause there has to be. There has to be both. But
But with this realm, like this physical world, I don't think we realize how perfect it is. Like, even with its flaws and stuff.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you expect a human being to create an entire world that's going to be as perfect as this?
At the end of the day, we're some greedy ass people.
Yeah.
Like, we're just another animal.
I know.
With a higher conscious, maybe. We don't know that.
It's not for sure, but
like,
it seems
dolphins
like
are smart. Insane. Dude, they probably, I don't know how they perceive us. Like, I think about a lot, man. But
dolphins, bro.
But
they're fucking smart as fuck. When you and the trainers and stuff, like the aquarium, they do like simple tricks and shit. But even in the wild, they know how to communicate with each other for hunting. Like they know how to. I think in the Everglades, since it's shallow water, they use their fin and tap the bottom of the ocean, and then so that creates the or the sand goes up and so it clouds the water. And so the fish don't know where to go because they can't see shit.
Yeah.
And then they just go, they attack it. Like that's that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's wild.
And all that it has, compared to us, it seems minimal. Like for human beings, it's insane how much we understand not only about ourselves but about everything around us. Like we know about birds, we know about bears, we know about all these other species. We know about the history of those species. We know about what's going to happen to they're going to be endangered and shit like that. Like all this forecasting.
But it's all from stuff that we're doing also. It's
we're so involved. Like people 1,000 years ago wouldn't even give a fuck if there was like GMOs in their food. Like they wouldn't give a fuck, you know. But
I'm sure there wasn't though.
Yeah, there wasn't
until we started tweaking things a little bit here and there.
Yeah,
but like even about that though, I feel like we've lost a lot of knowledge about just the earth and our environment, our actual environment, like the dirt and the air and
not these buildings and stuff.
Like a lot of us can't walk out and say, oh, we could use this for tea or we could eat this, that. Like a lot of us don't have that knowledge. Like,
I saw on your Instagram though, like you're really into herbs and stuff like that.
I think because like you're saying, the GMOs, like nowadays we don't know really how it's being grown in the process. So
you started it on your own?
Started a little garden and, I had some broccoli, chives, green onion. The whole process is just, it's like fulfilling. And there's a connection between just life and then life through the garden. You see it grow and you harvest and consume it, that's life, cook with it.
Yeah, that's life on its own, like plant life
on its own. And it's growing without all these distractions. Now, they still communicate, but it's different.
We just
you
don't
play
know.
music for it and it grows, it's happy, but
I think there was a study.
Everything's connected.
Yeah, talking about how if you speak to plants and stuff in a happy tone or like in a positive way, it'll grow more than if you just hate it and say like negative things around it or have negative energy. Like all that, it affects plants around you. Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah.
So what made you want to grow all these herbs in the beginning?
I just honestly started becoming more conscious, or I feel like ever since I was younger, like even like after practice or whatever, sometimes it would stop and get fast food, but I was like, man, like, all right, I want to stop eating McDonald's because I knew like, all right, McDonald's is one of the worst as a kid, like, you know. But then as I got older, I was like, I think one day I might even like stop eating red meat, and then it just progressed into me like digging deeper. And have you heard of Dr. Sebi?
I don't.
He's
think
like
so.
a herbalist and naturalist, and I just started learning about him and other herbalists, and then looking at, veganism and pescatarian and all that. And now I'm vegan.
These different diets.
I've been vegan for like a year. And then the reason I went vegan wasn't like, some people do it for the animals or the environment, which I also feel like, me being vegan, I'm also helping in those, lanes. But I went because I decided to go vegan because I felt like I was kind of going against like things I stand for, my morals. Like, a lot of those meat facilities are by Latino, Black, brown communities, and they getting cancer from what's coming out of there. And
it's not healthy.
When you really like start looking at it and you peel the curtain back a little.
Things that they don't show you.
So it's just like, I feel everyone should try to be their best self all around. So how you eat and how you feel, like I feel like that has a big
definitely part, yes. That has a huge impact because when you eat good food. I experience it all the time because I mean I still eat fast food sometimes. Like if I need something quick, like I'll just get something. But you feel like there's a 20-pound chain holding you after. Yeah. Like there's something there that I don't feel when my mom makes food at home, like home cooked meals from the grocery store, like with vegetables and stuff. That you could actually feel a difference in your body. Yeah, when you have
nutrition in your body, you function a little different, a little better.
And I'm glad, like people, I forget the doctor you mentioned, Dr. Sebi. Yeah, like people like that.
Research them.
Yeah, people like that who have this knowledge of maybe the mass of people have forgotten these things.
Now we want instant, oh, I got a headache or something, let me just pop this pill. But like there's natural herbs that grow that can help you with body aches and issues that you have. Like, and if you look him up, like he's healed people and
really
he went to court and it's a
he went to court.
Yeah, like
for what? Because what do you do?
He's saying he healed these people and then they're like, you can't.
Oh, so because he's like a doctor and you can't prescribe this type of medicine or stuff like that.
Well, people just want the pharmaceutical company. They don't want
him healing people.
They
like
don't
that
want
way.
that exposed to the mass majority, really. So it's they crazy. Took him to court and he won. Like,
yeah, you can't hold that back. Like, if it's information, what are you gonna do? Like, not hide that information for life. Like, people. I think these businesses, some of them just fear change because they've had success for so long, especially the pharmaceutical or fear insurance
losing their control.
Yeah, everything is in their control, and they don't want to change and help people at a greater degree. We seen it in the pandemic. There's no too.
Cure for it, really. They're just
temporary.
Yeah, temporary. Yeah.
A Band-Aid, really. Yeah. And we've seen it in the pandemic where they've told people just basically stay at home, and really what people needed was to eat better or like take some vitamins or do something for your body and your mind because that boosts your immunity when you're feeling good and you're happy and you're eating good, you feel better and it kind of has a greater impact. Yeah,
it does. But even like how you said, they told people to stay home and like they closed the beaches, and I was like, you get minerals and vitamins from the ocean, like you know what I mean. But things like that,
they didn't know what they were doing, but I mean, nobody did. Nobody really did.
There's good in it too. Not everything about a pharmaceutical company is bad.
Like, we're not trashing medicine at all.
We still need that, like
surgery, stuff like that. Yeah,
it's still a necessity, but and they were all through the pandemic. Like, it's wild for all those workers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Healthcare and first responders. Like, shout out to all them.
Yeah, shout out to them because they worked so much to and risk their lives.
And they're at risk.
They're at risk. They're away from their families. They've had to separate themselves and
mentally, like, that was a lot they were going through.
Definitely.
Every day.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine
shifts,
that.
Like, that's a lot on the mind.
Always focusing on other people's problems and issues, and there's really
even trying to filter that, like, that might be when you constantly going through that for a period of time.
There's so many problems and things forced down our throats, just the news in general and social media and stuff, that sometimes like I just stop watching it, like just completely end social media.
Pull away sometimes. Unplug
for sure.
Yeah, you have to.
Because our consciousness begins being flooded with only problems, when really it's what you focus on expands, in my opinion. And when all you're seeing is problems and murders and things that are going wrong in the world, things that people have to fix, then your perspective is just going to be focusing on those things.
Exactly.
When this, in the same moment, if you had a consciousness of everything will be fine, like I'm at peace with myself and let me just focus on me and live my life to be as happy as I can be in this moment, then that's what you're going to focus on, and that's how you're going to feel. And
in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's not that you shouldn't you shouldn't block or think those problems are non-existent or whatever. But you can't only think about problems all day. Like there's more to life. Even Elon Musk said, like, he was being interviewed. I forget the question asked, but he said, you can't just think about problems. You have to, what inspires you? What do you want to do? What do you want to create?
With every problem, there's a solution.
Exactly.
Like, you know, there's two sides to everything. Yeah. With the good comes light, yin yang, black and white.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always. And I think that speaking of like how perfect it is, that's one of the reasons I believe is because there's, even with all the problems, I think that's the perfection of it. People think perfect is only good, like a utopian society is only good, everything's perfect. But this is perfect right now. Like it's already perfect, because if there was only good, you wouldn't want to do anything. Like there's no experience.
Yeah.
Because it's already there. Like everything just is. It just is. Like
I listened to this book, The Power of Now.
Oh yeah, I've heard of Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then and that book is just talking about like the present moment is the like where you want to be. Like all, like you're saying, look into the future, have goals, but if you're focused on the future, focused on the past, like you're missing the present moment. That's like the most valuable thing you have.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're gonna get tomorrow or yesterday already passed. Like you have right now.
Yeah.
Every day you wake, you get a chance and you get a choice.
Yeah.
That's what we be saying. Yeah.
I even Kanye, I think on Gorgeous, he said, I don't believe in yesterday. He's like, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, it happened, and even the future, it hasn't come yet. But when you're in the moment, like doing this podcast, like right now, I think we're both in the moment, like we're focused on this. And every time I do this, I'm in that zone. Like I have complete awareness that I'm in the moment. When I'm by myself or something, my thoughts seem to fade away and go into the past or future. But when I do this, or even that's what I think the creative outlets are so important, because it puts you in the present moment. It anchors you down into whatever you're doing so that you could express it. And at the same time, it just feels good to you for doing that. Out into the world is connection. That's what my focus has been like, all right, on connecting. So like even coming here and doing this, like it's a connection. Like, there's a connection being made. Absolutely. It's always expanding. I mean, I think people come into our lives at the exact right moment. Everybody around you, everybody is there to teach you. Like even if it's not like on a whiteboard saying this is the step by step, it's not that teaching. It's just if somebody is in the car ahead of you and is driving really slow, that might mean like you got to be more patient, right? Like why get angry when the universe is telling you, like, just be more patient. Things will. And sometimes it'll take people a while to see that something might have happened today, but it won't hit them for a few weeks. Like, exactly. Now I see the message, or now I see what had the world is trying to tell me, or I think I forget who said this, but one speaker said, it might have been Tony Robbins. He said you'll realize one day that the worst day of your life is actually the best day of your life. Because without that worst day, you wouldn't have been the person you are now. Yeah. Like it changes you, those lows and everything that's happened to you. Yeah. The highs are good. Like that's also a part of it. Like I'm not saying that's a better or worse, but the losses and
gets you stronger.
It gets you stronger. It builds faith. It builds courage. Like there's something that has to come out of you now.
Overcoming adversity. Yeah. Like,
That it all benefits you in the long run. Exactly. If you gain the perspective of that. And he had a story about what happened to him was, and when he was a kid, he grew up in an abusive family, and he was living on welfare and stuff. And he remembered on Thanksgiving, nobody had, they didn't have money, so they couldn't afford Thanksgiving dinner. Mm-hmm. But then this one guy from church or something came and brought them turkey and a full meal. Like that guy didn't come, they wouldn't have eaten that night. So that person came, and from that he made a commitment that if I ever get the chance to make money and give to people, I'm going to feed families. And now, like, he's world-renowned speaker, hundreds of millions of dollars. He has his own charity, and he started, I don't know how many Thanksgiving dinners, but like millions of meals. He
has a book, Money Master the Game.
Is that a book of his, or?
I believe so.
I don't know his books. I just listened to his speeches and stuff like that. But I heard that story, and that correlated with me because the positive side didn't come until years later. Like you might not know it in the beginning when shit is really bad, but when you look back, you'll understand that this had to happen.
And that's why they say, like, life's about the journey, not the destination. Like,
exactly.
The destination, we all end up in the same destination. Like, life's about the journey. There's other people relating to your journey. Mm-hmm. We all have similar, lives at an extent. We all have relations, but there's different levels to it. Like, someone in a third world country's struggles is a lot different than someone over here, or everyone has their own struggles. Yeah, everybody has their own life, and I think the beauty of it is that it's in our control. Like it is up to an extent, but your perception really makes all of it happen. Your ideas of yourself, your self-image of who you believe you are, that controls so much. And like I hope people start to understand who they really are. Instead of thinking of problems, they could think of solutions. Like, all this is just perspective. A positive mindset is just a thought, and it's not gonna come from anybody else. Like, I can't give it to you. Like, you have to work on it yourself. You can't compare yourself, because then that eats away at, your confidence, and you can't really look at time either, because your time is going to be when you write for whatever you want to receive. Like,
the patience. Patience is
time.
The key to paradise.
Really, right? You got to be aware of time, but you can't focus on it.
It's so much that these ideas and stuff, but the people who come, and something that else I wanted to talk about was the people that come into our life are a big deal, but also the people that leave our life is also. Some people have a trouble leaving people because everybody grows at different rates, and I think when some maybe it's your friend group or your family member or somebody that's really close to you, you might not be on the same path. Maybe in the beginning you were connecting really good, but then eventually you decide to grow, and that person didn't want to.
Yourself.
Yeah, and that distinction of letting go and knowing that's what's meant to be instead of holding back all the time is.
And you have to be okay with like knowing that you might be growing at a different rate. But that's the part where I feel like you could still, the connection might be different depending on the relationship.
Yeah.
But that's where it's for you to analyze and.
Yeah. I had a conversation about this with my other friend. He said he tried to change others, and I was like, that's not going to work at all.
You can't.
Like even if you think that your friends are like pessimistic and they don't really want anything from life, and you try to change them, like you're going to use energy that you could have put towards yourself into something that's not in your control. Like it's the only way I believe a person can change is if they themselves make the decision to change. That's the only way.
The decision to change and change the actions.
Yeah. And when you try to change them, there's a quote, I believe, one man's or a person convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. So if you try to change their opinion, they're gonna double down on like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're trying to change me and shit. Like their ego will come in.
You can only do so much. You could still. I wouldn't say like just separate yourself and
cut off.
But also, it depends on the relationship.
It depends.
It depends on the situation. There's a lot into it, but yeah,
that's happened. This like maybe the past 4 years for me. Like a lot of people that I knew from high school, like I just don't talk to them anymore because it's not the same relationship because I've grown from that. And if they're not, and it just happens naturally. It's not like that we had a fight or anything. It's just like we don't talk anymore.
Yeah,
it's just the universe. Like we don't connect. So
I forgot which book I got it out of, but it was saying like there's some people that are 3-minute people. There's some people that are 3 hours, and there's other people that you can spend 3 days with.
Yeah.
Like you got to know, which person, or even 3 seconds. Like,
3 seconds.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, but that's healthy. That's a healthy relationship. You can't give everybody 3 hours or 3 days. Like, you
have to be aware of it. Is the thing that what is this person benefiting my life at all?
Exactly.
If I had to keep texting them and then they wait to reply me in like a day, what am I doing?
And your intuition tells you. A lot of people want to seek, even if you ask a close friend, but your intuition knows, like,
exactly.
You really know what you feel.
And the thing I've began to like trust is that better people will come. Like maybe I'll lose some friends, but I think I'll gain better friends that are helping me grow, that are on my same frequency and wanting me to continue down this path. You know?
Me and my brothers, we say we got to do the time, to get mine. And you become what you attract. Like that's what I feel, really.
Yeah. Whatever you are, I think. Yeah. Like exactly what your inner deepest thoughts.
Or you attract what you become is what I meant to say.
Yeah. Your innermost deepest thoughts, basically your most repetitive thoughts, are exactly how you are, like what you see yourself as. And to begin to change that is fucking hard as fuck. Like, cause we're so programmed to think in whatever I have, whatever circumstance is around me, that's who I am. Like everything is to the point where that'll keep you discouraged. Like if you don't know, like that's why I say imagination is so important, is because if all you see around you is things that you don't want, you have to have something to go after, like there, or else you'll be stuck down in the same place. And and with imagination, you could go to that place in your mind, and that'll lead to you starting to believe in that reality, that place. And when you see yourself that way, like watch that shit come to you like so fast. It's insane. Like this podcast, for example, that happened because of exactly that. Like I believed I was sitting in this shit talking to people, and it came like this. I didn't even know how to do it. I didn't know what a microphone, how to use it, Adobe Audition, nothing.
But once you just start, you turn the idea into action and you start putting the puzzle pieces together, it all comes together, man. It starts looking beautiful.
And that's what we're talking about, is the journey, not the destination. It wasn't the thing that made me happy throughout it all was not getting there. Like the first episode that I recorded, I didn't like really have too much emotion. Like I was just like, okay, this is cool. Let me start it. But
I'm just getting started.
I'm just getting started here. Like this is the first episode. I'm excited that all of it's here, but like the main part was the process of it all. The things that didn't work, the things I've had to figure out, like all of it came together, and that's the fun. Like if it all worked out smoothly, I wouldn't have had as much fun. Like it's about the fixing of it and making yourself better. Even if you look back at the first episode, it's atrocious. Like I didn't know how to talk. Like I was shy. I was really nervous. But now you look back now from I believe this is like the 110th episode now, which is wild. Like I never kept track of it, but I just did it, and now I'm a better speaker. I listen to other podcasts. I learn from them. That's the whole thing about life, is just that experience. Inspiration leads to your creation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Inspiration into the creation.
Yep.
Yes. That's it right there.
Exactly.
But lost my train of thought.
Really? Oh, okay.
What was I gonna say?
It's weird. Yeah, that happens a lot to me. Like when people are talking, and like I was about to say something, and you learn that from doing this is not to interrupt people so much. I used to always interject with whatever idea that I had, and I still probably do it a lot, but just trying to work on that alone, letting other people talk, and then making sure that I have my idea, I could say it, and I don't have to interject right away. I could wait and let it happen.
I've been learning that as we've been going on with this. I noticed myself in the beginning, like, I had a lot of ideas, and I was like, oh. But now I'm like, okay, hold on to it. Because I'm listening, I'm learning as well,
That's the whole point of it. I think that this is a beautiful experience to have, is a conversation it's different when you're just with friends and you're talking, whatever, you're doing your shit, like you're on your phone, whatever. Yeah. But when all of the distraction goes away and you just get to have a real conversation, it's a whole different experience.
Yeah, when you're gaining and exchanging information.
Exactly.
You want to consume, and
Yeah.
But I even have a line, I was like, listen up, speak less, then you learn the lesson. And I was like,
oh, okay.
Because I started just listening a lot more, and I was like, man, I learned a lot more just from listening, not always.
Have you been that in the past? Like as a kid, were you an observer or somebody that had to talk to people all the time?
I feel like I was a little bit of both at times. Yeah. I wouldn't say, a little bit of both, but at times, or now I find myself like in certain situations, let me just listen.
Yeah.
And then speak.
Yeah. As a kid, for me, I was pretty shy as a kid. I had friends and I talked and stuff, but I could remember vividly just listening to people and seeing what they did and not really trying to interject. And now that I look back and I realize that that's a beautiful thing to have, is because, and it helped me a lot building emotional IQ. Like I could feel whatever anybody's around me, I could feel their state of being. Like if they're sad, I know that they're sad. If they're happy,
like that's a gift.
And I know exactly what to say. Like if they're down, I'm not gonna say something negative to them. Like if I have bad news, I'm not gonna say it to them in that moment. I'll just wait. I know that there's a time for it, and it's not right now.
Yeah, just being observant.
Yeah.
Observant. Yeah, like like what you're saying, I remember I was having a conversation like with someone. I was like, I like people watching. Like I learned a lot from just people watching. Like and like you're saying, you can read like people's emotions, and if you're observant,
you could tell.
And
aware,
you could tell.
You could tell.
And even as a kid, like
I think kids are the best at it because they're just so honest and in tune. Like they don't have any like problem with expressing themselves.
There's no filter really. They just say it however it comes out. They'll be honest with you. They'll tell you what you need to hear.
I know. And for some reason, man, like people like lose that shit. Like they lose themselves. They try to put on some type of face or try to become a different person than they're not, just to be accepted or by society.
Or they become consumed by a certain, interest or distractions and just
societal expectations. I think a lot of people deal with that of seeing how everybody else has lived. That people look at the past and see, okay, this is how people have done it. This is how you have to do it now. When in reality, you should just learn. I'm not saying block out everything that anybody has to say. I'm saying learn from it, but then make your own decision. On your own life.
Want to change.
You don't have to just follow the herd. Like everybody can do one thing, but if that doesn't connect with you, if that doesn't make you happy, then what's the point? Exactly. And I think a lot of people would have learned that, like that they go through life doing shit that they don't want to do, and then one day they realize, why am I doing this? Like, so one day it's gonna dawn on you that you're gonna die one day, that this is temporary, and it's part of the journey that you have to experience, like something that you love doing.
Like what's my purpose? What makes me happy? How do I want to give? How do I want to be remembered? Those are values that I feel like
questions like that, dude. You have to ask yourself, and it's not something that comes, the answer for that, like what's my purpose, doesn't come right away. Like I don't know, for like the idea for doing what I do, like creation and stuff that I found, like this is my purpose, this is what makes me happy. Like I really don't know how it happened, but I remember thinking and questioning myself every day. What's my purpose? What's my purpose? Every day. Just thinking that same thought every single fucking day. And then one day it all came together, like just at like an epiphany. I was just sitting at my desk and I was like, okay, shit, this is what I have to do. This is it. Like, this is my shit, and it comes at the weirdest times. There's no explanation, but.
And once it comes, like you look down at the past and you're like, you see the connections. Like, oh yeah. And you don't even question it once you know, like,
it's a feeling. Purpose. It's a feeling that you get that it's unlike anything else. I think it's, there's that I believe there's a quote, Viktor Frankl, I believe, said, people without a deep sense of purpose look for pleasure. And those are two completely different things. Like pleasure and happiness are, some people think that it's in the same place. Like they think money can buy happiness and stuff like that. But money can buy pleasure, in my opinion.
Money just gives you access.
Money can buy the pleasure, like if you want a car and stuff, but at the same time it's temporary. There's something about peace. To me, happiness is peace. It's a feeling and a knowing in your, like, just being one with the universe. That's happiness. And you can't buy that. You can't go and get a drug for that. It's just something that comes from your ideas, and who you listen to has a big part in with that. Like you said, like filtration of your thoughts and creativity, that all has has a big part to do with that. And once you do find like your purpose and a deep sense of knowing that this is my path, nothing else will make you happy. Like literally, if you don't do that, you'll be depressed as hell.
Yeah. You feel like an emptiness.
Really.
Yeah, it needs to be fulfilled. It's a fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like I've had that feeling before of the doubt creeping in, of fear creeping in, of all those emotions of, is this going to work? Or how am I going to do this? All these questions come in, and the biggest thing that helped me was the understanding that if it's causing fear or doubt in me, it's not for me. Like I'm not supposed to think about that shit, because it's not making me better at all. How is those thoughts gonna get me to where I need to go?
Yeah.
None of them. And when I say that to myself, I understand that the thoughts that do help me, that do benefit me, that the people I listen to that believe in me, I had to focus on that more. And it always makes you in a better mood. I think most people have lost like the feeling, like not just if I'm happy because I got a new car, I'm sad because my phone broke. Like that shit will always happen, and that's because of life. But when you could be happy no matter what, that's the fucking main discipline, is learning no matter what, always to get in that place of gratefulness and peace.
And it's hard at times.
Yeah, it's so hard.
When you down bad and it seems like nothing's going right.
Yeah.
You know, you like things in life physically are happening. Mm-hmm. Like your surroundings might not be what you want, but you can control the mind. Like at the end of the day, you could find some good in whatever is going on.
It's a hard choice at sometimes, but I think sometimes it's just a test too.
It's a test,
of whether or not you're gonna have the faith to see it through. Even if you're going through this tough time, whatever it may be, the circumstance, however you feel, can you believe in yourself enough to do it? And I think the more you put faith in yourself, the more more alive you feel. I think.
Are you alive? Yeah. Are you living? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real.
There's another quote that says, most people die at the age of 25 and aren't buried until they're 75, because they lose their soul, like they lose their purpose, their meaning of everything.
In another audio book I heard, what was the name? It's not coming to me. Mm-hmm. But they're saying like you have until you're 70 to really make an impact, like in whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. But like you're saying, a lot of people lose that 25, 30, 40, like that's it. Their dreams, they don't put effort into that. It's just,
I think it's just most people don't believe that it's possible for some reason. Like there's,
and like,
I don't know where
I'm
that comes.
speaking from a 20-year-old. Like I know, I don't know what it's like to be 40, or even like we have the access to a lot that
a lot of people don't
people
have.
Before us didn't really have too. So.
And the environment has a lot to do with it. Like we have these things now that have increased our awareness and knowledge of things. Like information has changed us a lot. Yeah. We know more at 20 than people like our parents knew at 20.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But that can be a pro or a con depending on where you put that attention. If you're just watching TikToks and random shit all day, that's just for entertainment purposes. I'm not saying that it's that you shouldn't watch any of that.
Yeah.
But if that's all you're watching,
there has to be a balance.
Yeah. If that's all you're watching, then it's not gonna benefit you in the way that that we're talking about. You know.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. We ranted on for a long bit right there.
Yeah, we did.
That was wild. But it's so important though. There's nothing else like the mind for a human being. That's all you got, really.
Yeah, and our generation I feel like is gonna, I don't know, we're in between like a pocket of like the young kids right now, the generation coming after us, like they're growing up in this technology world.
Do you think those kids will take more risk, like because of this? Because of like technology and stuff, that they'll want to create more? Like the creative process for them will be easier. Like they'll want to go follow their purpose and passion more.
Yeah, we need to bring a kid on here. Yeah. We need to bring a kid on here because honestly, like I try to have conversations like this, but I feel like I'm not sure if like the intentions, man, and I'm not speaking for all. I know there's a lot of the kids are on a different level, even with like quarantine. Like, what were they doing in that time? You know. And like what you're saying, like they have the access to a lot. Like, what are they consuming? Yeah. Like, I feel like there's a lot of different types of kids, I guess. Yeah. Like in our generation, we all kind of had similar access to things. Like
it was kind of a basic form of the internet. It wasn't like
I remember when there was a computer in my grandma's house, like for the first, I was like, wait, what? You could search things up?
Like the first videos on YouTube, like 2010-ish area.
Yes, like I remember.
First videos of people creating shit.
Even when people started coming out with dances on YouTube, like,
the
like
Gangnam Style.
We grew up with technology. Like they're consumed with technology, learning how to work a phone like as an infant.
And
then we've been growing with it, but it still has an effect. If you look at it like you're saying, like there's some people our generation that are consumed by the internet and, you know, in a different space, and there's others that have an older soul or on a different path. Yeah. But
I mean, I think it's all meant to be. Like whatever it is, I don't try to change like other people. If that's what they want to do, just fucking do it. But
and everyone's time is different.
Yeah. Everybody's time is different. I mean, I don't know why I am the way I am. Like all the things that had to happen in my life for me to be here, it's fucking crazy to think about. Yeah. But I just let it be. There's no point in thinking like, well, if this didn't happen, then I wouldn't be here. Yeah.
I'm right here for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But speaking of the kids and stuff, I saw this kid, Miles, I believe his name is. He's on Instagram and he makes or he produces music, and that
was just coming into my head because
you saw that kid?
I was at home working on music. I was editing my trust issues video. I was editing it, and then this little homie came in. It's like my uncle's stepson. He came in and I was like, who you with? Like I don't know this kid. I was like, he's just coming up in here. But then coming to find out, he was like telling me like, yo, I make beats and like. So I was like seeing, he was showing me his TikTok and stuff, like how he's growing it. And I was like, oh, that's
starting like, I noticed
like age. Kids are getting started on like whatever they want to do. Like I noticed that like they are pursuing their dreams and whatnot at a younger age.
Yeah,
like,
it's not
like what do you want to be when you grow up. It's like
this is who I am.
Yeah,
right? Like this is what I was born to do, right? And this kid, I believe his name is Miles. It might be something else, but I saw, I believe on Instagram, like the Reels thing. This kid came on and he was just on a computer and he had, I believe, is it Logic Pro? Like that's the main software, right?
Yeah, for Logic or Ableton.
Yeah, he had one of those and he just started playing this beat and he was like, the tempo is too high, and he changed the tempo and shit. Like he knew all the stuff. And then he said, or I need a beat for, I need a drum that's gonna sound like this or whatever. Like he just played it and then he found it. He looked through all the selection. He's like, that's too quick. This one's right. And then he went and got his guitar and started playing it. And that used that too, and he just started making beats like
Creating.
that. Yeah,
that's beautiful. I know that, man.
That's amazing. I mean, if his parents did a good job too, like they have the resources and stuff to that, and he knows that this is what he loves to do.
Yeah,
and so if they're able to give him the resources to pursue that passion, I mean, that's the greatest thing ever. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's super beautiful. Kids are amazing though. Like when my cousin's daughter, like she comes to the house sometimes, and every time I'm with her, she always is like always brings other people up. Like for some reason, kids have that ability.
Kids bring joy. Yeah, they do. It's
like pure love in there.
I was watching the Wu-Tang. I'm watching the Wu-Tang series. There's like a Wu-Tang show.
Oh yeah.
I don't even watch shows ever. Like I don't turn on the TV at all.
Really?
Like the only time I'm on a screen is like if I'm on my phone or on the laptop.
Yeah.
Like, but my boy, he was like, you got to watch it, man. And I see now why he was saying to watch it, just like with what I'm going through and even conversations we're having, like, you know, with life, it relates. But they're saying like, the mom, she was like, yeah, kids bring joy. Like, and it's right with my little cousins. Like when you're around the kid, it's just, you feel the joy.
Yeah.
The purity, like, you know, they're pure. It's just.
Yeah. It doesn't seem insincere. It just seems that it's genuine love for people, no matter what. You never see a kid hating another person or another adult or a kid, because they just know that like all of us can love each other instead of hating someone based on the physical differences or financial differences or anything.
There needs to be more love.
Yeah, love.
Yeah, love.
It's
powerful.
It basically, I think when you see life from that perspective, when you see everybody in that, no matter what, even if they send hate, you could send love. Like when you get to that level, it's just an understanding that that's the way we were born to live.
And it brings peace.
Yeah, it brings peace.
Like it does.
It brings peace for sure. And that's invaluable in my opinion. Just once you feel like true peace, you don't want to be anywhere else. Like that, it's just
and it's not like when you feel peace, you're gonna stay right here. Like you still have emotions, but when you know that sense of peace, like you want to be,
you'll find a way to get back to it always.
You want to be at that state.
Yeah, it's like a thermometer or like a AC unit. You know, if you set a temperature at a certain setting, it might go below that or above it, and then the heat starts or the AC starts. You know, that's how it really is. But, yeah, dude. Kids. I mean, have you ever thought about like how many kids you'll have, or do you want kids?
Yeah, I do. I want some kids, but I mean, I was thinking I want like a few boys and a girl.
Yeah,
but that I
haven't thought about that much yet.
Like I have, but it's just like that's a big thing. Bringing them, it's beautiful. The whole process, like even you know, from the creation to a woman, you know, holding a baby for 9 months and pushing it out, like, and then how you raise the child,
building a connection like from day one, and then seeing the baby grow. Like I don't even know how our parents feel like from when we were like that small.
I can't
like now.
Like I still can't see from, you know, dad's perspective or mom's perspective or grandmother's, but like
people say that it's just
observing. I could only, you know, try my best
comprehend it. People say it's an unconditional love you feel like the moment that you see them, that no matter what they do, no matter anything, you'll love them for life. Like that's, I haven't experienced that yet, but I hope one day that it's a special thing as a human being.
It is. And I also think like how people have to deal with, you know, because most of us, or not all of us, but, you know, a good majority of us have that parent, you know, that we came from to raise us. But then there's some of us that, you know, were in the orphanage and whatnot. And like that's a different understanding they got to go through that not everyone could relate to.
Yeah, not everybody could relate to that.
But
it's all, I mean, to me, there's like every like the yin and yang, the balance of stuff. It has to do with that as well, because if some people have parents that are always with them and that are good and make them happy and stuff, there's an opposite of that as well, unfortunately. And I think it's not there to harm. Like it's not there. It's the perspective you take. It could be that, why did this have to happen to me? You could gain that understanding, right? And like personally, I can never correlate with those people. Like I haven't been through it, but I could tell you that it's a lot of it has to do with how you look at it, because it might have happened to you and you were a kid, but if you gain the understanding that it had to happen for me to be this person and for me to live this life, I
can be the example for others that, you know, have gone through something similar. And accepting your journey, like you can't change certain things, but you can
you can't change how
inspire, educate.
Where you were born or how the circumstances were as a child. You can't change that, but you can change what you do after that. What are you going to bring to this world? And I think those people that have gone through struggle and seen how bad it can get, those are the people that actually like make a difference in this world. Like I think some of the most like there was an author, I believe, forget his name, H.G. Wells or something like that. I forget exactly his name, but he was I believe an orphan, and he was homeless as a kid, but he wound up writing multiple best-selling books in like the 1800s, 1900s. And that's through like his struggle and stuff. Like it has its positive with it.
You could even look at it as like a benefit. Like not everyone can come from the bottom or wherever you come from and take it to wherever, you know, wherever you want to take it.
Yeah. You know, Gary Vee, right?
Yeah.
He talks about that a lot. He said, I would much rather be in a place that like I have to strive from, like there's a deep sense of hunger in you, than if I had everything handed to me all the time. I got everything that I wanted. I'd rather be in the
reward is going to be, you know, it's going to taste a lot better.
It's there's something about it. There's something about those people that have gone through real struggle that just have a different perspective in life. And
the drive they have.
Anybody that wants to get out of the situation they have now, and they know that I can better impact the world this way. That's a beautiful thing to to see.
Yeah, even when the odds are against you, like having that mentality to get past, to get through the adversity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and pretty much like every artist, like creatively, people who I'm not talking about just music, but like, let's say like architects and people who design stuff, they've all had a different way of looking at things, and they're much likely to take risks than a lot of people that are just, let's say, just have regular jobs and stuff. I don't know what's the distinction, what made them take more risk, like who knows why that happened to them. But there's something about those people, the inventors like Albert Einstein or Thomas Edison, people who create, Elon Musk, those people will be cemented in history not because of what they did like everybody else, but what they did differently.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and there's levels to that as well. Like, you know, there's some people that impact their community or just people they meet throughout their life and have a great impact rather than, you know, someone on a global scale.
Yeah, definitely.
Just anyone can impact another.
Yeah, don't think that your life is insignificant at all. Like
it's never like we learn off of each other. Like,
like you said, like everything's connected, really.
Yeah.
So every human being is here on purpose, just like everything happens for a reason.
I've had conversations with some people that are on the street, and I've learned something. Like, you know, some people might just walk by or like, not conversate, but like, no, that's someone that has a story. That's, you know, we don't know exactly what happened, what's their situation. And like I've learned, I was like, man, like some things have sat with me and I've learned from somebody, like, because like you said, we're all connected. I'm connected to you, I'm connected to, you know, the tree growing outside, the birds.
Yeah. It's all energy. It's all the same thing, right? It's amazing to view life from that perspective.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, definitely. But speaking of music and your music, what have you been working on, or what's your mind state right now, like going through it, the creative process and stuff?
Right now, well, coming up, I have this month on the 30th, I have a Mixed Emotions EP dropping.
Really? That's exciting.
Yeah, and that one has a story because it was I started working on it through the pandemic, 2020.
Oh, okay.
And then that's when I was like making those songs at my boy Gam's studio out there in Santa Ana. And then once the year was wrapping up, I was like, okay, I got this EP. His stew actually burnt down. Like there's a fire. Yeah.
The entire studio?
It was wild. Yeah. It was like a space with multiple studios. But yeah, there's a fire in there and it burned down.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. And then like right when that happened, my uncle passed away. Wow. And then he was my biggest fan in music. You know, he's like a big homie. He's a lot. So I lost like technically where I express myself, even though, you know, I still make music, but and then I had a lot on my mind. You know, I was dealing with something that I'd never experienced. Yeah. And then my boy DJ Crescent, he reached out to me. We had like connected a few times before that. But he had his own little studio also in Santa Ana. And then from the beginning of the year through like late summer, a few months ago, even up to now, we still go to the studio, but we were hitting it like religiously. And we had like 60 records in the vault. Damn. Like 60. And when they're special records because conversations that we have, like I've used a few lines as we've spoken. Like it's some of the best work that I feel that I've like
that you've
just
done, that you
done.
produced.
Like, yeah. And then I've been learning also, we were talking about before, like just how to create beats and just the music, frequencies, creating.
Yeah, you were talking earlier how you want to learn instruments and do
like
all that.
Eventually I want to be able to play whatever I could lay my hands on.
Yeah.
Like really, I see myself as being, you know, the greatest to ever do this. And I feel like I should feel that. Whatever anyone is doing, like if you don't see yourself being the greatest,
you have to feel it.
Come on, like
bro, there's no other way. Like even
that Mamba mentality is real. It's
even
real.
Kanye, he said the only problem people have, or the biggest problem people have, is the perception of themselves.
Yeah.
If you're taught that you can't do anything, you won't do anything. Yeah. I was taught that I could do everything.
Like I'm already everything that I haven't yet lived or
hasn't manifested yet.
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet, but I know it's already in me. Like I'm already going to live that and go places I want to go and impact
the people
I want to impact. But yeah, it's just the journey.
Yeah, that's the journey. And that's crazy though. This 60 songs and how long? This just this past year?
We probably made 60 in like 7 months. About 7 months. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, yeah.
That's a great feeling though too.
And it's a variety. Like we got a reggae type song. We have like every emotion, like
whatever you're
making
feeling.
every type of mood fit for any occasion. That's a bar like that I have. And it's real. But I'm loving. That's my passion. I love expressing myself.
I could tell, man. Like I could tell that just by the way you're talking about it, like you deeply love what you do, and that's that love for it. It doesn't matter like what struggle you're going through or whatever. Like it's this pure love, unlike anything else. That this is amazing.
Like, it doesn't matter what is going on, or I might be feeling a certain way. Like once I'm creating or I listen to this music, it's like I'm good. Like I know, like it takes me to that space. It's called like even I've been skating lately, and they talk about like you reach a state of like flowation, where you just at a higher realm. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and you just in that state of flowation. Like I get that with the music, and you know, even skating. Like we were saying, people get it through art, whatever their expression is, and
cooking, whatever. Like
cooking,
anything could get you to that state, and that's the best fucking state. Like I think it's literally. Once you feel it, you're like, I need to get back here as much as possible.
I'm addicted.
It's the best drug, bro. Like
I'm addicted.
You become addicted to that feeling of, damn. And I think a lot of people, like stand-up comedians, feel that way too. When they go on stage, they hear that crowd. They're in the zone of telling these jokes, or actors when they're in the moment and shooting the scene. Yeah, like all those things are available and. Once you find out what's yours, like fuck, just go all in, because that's your life. Like that's
you're gonna make mistakes. Gonna, you know, there's gonna be some vultures coming in here and there, but
that's the fun.
You just keep going. You gonna eventually, you know, rip your arm through, and you know the breakthrough. And just run with
tunnel vision. Right?
Tunnel vision. But the compound effect. That's what I'm saying. I'm calling this the compound effect. I don't know if you heard or read that book, but
I don't think I've heard of that book. Is it?
I suggest everybody should read the compound effect, and it gave me a lot of structure.
Is it a recent book that was written, or like
honestly, I'm not sure how long ago, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Definitely.
But for structure, and then even into my music, into exercise, like it's just helped me with having structure. And now I'm implementing it into my releases, you know. And we're dropping music at least every month. You don't get a single or
the
like
EP,
I'm dropping EP.
When does that come out?
The 30th.
30th,
November
okay.
30th. It's Tuesday.
Look out for that. And they could find your music on your
all
Instagram, all platforms.
Yeah, you could catch the videos on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll link it below, like his Instagram and everything. So check it out. Check out his music, and you hear it here. Like he's putting out music every day. 60 songs in the vault already.
Yeah.
So like
we just want to connect. Just it's the journey.
It's coming along.
Appreciating the journey, man.
Yeah. It's definitely incredible.
Yes.
That just seeing people that are happy and like doing their process makes other people want to be involved in it too. I think you might have seen that just being around like your producers and stuff. Like both of you can help each other like creatively. You could just you feel better just working together.
And like I'm saying, it's attractiveness. Like you attract people as you start working on yourself and what your craft is, what finding your purpose. Like you start attracting those pieces to your puzzle. Like, okay, I got a few producers that are like my brothers now. Like, I got someone that's helping me with this social media that I need a little work in, to get some exposure. Like, and that's the beauty of it. Just building with one another, linking arms, and growing in all aspects and all
aspects. Yeah. And those people are like so vital. Like I think just having people around you that have the same like tenacity, same energy as you, you just want to be around that. And even if you're down, they could lift you up too, is what happens.
Yeah.
What I feel that when you start hanging out with people that are on the same level or even higher than you, like they'll pull you up. And if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to grow, they're willing to help you.
And they'll also humble you, because you might, be growing and still realize like, oh, I still have so much more to go. Like, there's always room for improvement. But
always, man.
Yeah, having those people that are like-minded or that have been through what you're going through or something similar, that's always a connection you want to have.
Yeah, your environment has a lot to do with it, and especially in this time with like social media, it's easy to connect with people like just DMing or reaching out to somebody can build that relationship.
Yeah.
It's so easy to find new connections.
But just take that leap of faith.
Yeah. Exactly. That's how it works. And even like you mentioned the studio that burned down. If that didn't happen, you wouldn't have gone to the other studio and worked with that DJ. So like, it's all divine. That's what my brother says. Cause I'll be like, man, this is crazy. Like this shit happened. This happened. Like, bro, that shit crazy. He's like, nah, man, it's divine. It's divine. Like it's divine. It's all happening for a reason. We just don't see it yet. Like for some reason, it's not meant to be. But that's the uncertainty of it. I think there's a famous quote: "Everything you want is on the other side of fear," and the fear is the uncertainty. It's an illusion. Most people think it's like.
I have another bar where I'm like, to live my fullest potential is probably my only fear.
Yeah,
like,
that's so true.
That's my only fear.
That's so
Denzel
true.
Washington was saying, he quoted someone and he was like, when that day comes and your time is, you're on your deathbed, like you're gonna have ghosts around you, and that's gonna be like
I've heard that.
That's gonna be like talents and things that you could have brought to life. You don't want them saying like you could have brought us to life.
And now we're all dead.
Yeah, like bring those talents out, give them life. Like seek more. Yeah, dig deeper.
Yeah, there's another one like that, I think, where I believe Ed Millett said I don't want to, I don't, if, when I die, I don't want to see the reflection of the person that I could have been.
Yeah.
You know, that like seeing what I could have done with my life. And then I want it to be a mirror reflection of that's exactly who I am, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sometimes might feel overwhelming, but that's just know that it's divine. Like you said, it's part of the process. It's,
if it doesn't feel overwhelming, then you might not be doing enough.
Yeah. If your dreams don't fucking scare the shit out of you, they're not big enough. It should be like, how the fuck and like where's this gonna happen?
You always gotta shoot higher.
Yeah,
you always gotta shoot higher than you even like. Because even what you imagine right now, like you could get further than that. What you're even imagining.
To me, it's infinite. There's no limit. Like once you get somewhere, there's gonna be more than that. It's not like the universe just says, okay, you've got this far. That's it. You're done. Yeah. No limit. No limit. And there's another quote from a movie or a different author. I forget the whole thing. It's pretty long, but she said, our deepest fear isn't that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond we can imagine.
Yeah.
Like that. It's not that, and that you're playing small, like thinking that you're insignificant doesn't help anybody. What we're not afraid of is we're not afraid of our darkness. We're more afraid of our light, because to us, like that's unlimited. That
when
there's
you're
no
in the dark. You might feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You're not seen. It seems, there's no light on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It seems familiar. Familiar is a word I was trying to get. It seems that, people call it the comfort zone for a reason. You're around the things that keep this false sense of security. I say false sense because there's really no such thing as security. Like no matter what, you're going to die. So like, what are you afraid of? But it's an illusion that can only be combated with understanding and awareness that there's really nothing to lose. I just had to try. And even in the trying of it, that's where the beauty is. That's where the growth is. That's where life is. Like, that's where you had to reach out to.
They say beauty in the struggle.
Beauty in the struggle, of course. Yeah. And that place of just going for it no matter what. Like there's a lot of people that have lived, like a lot of older people, I should say, have lived a full life, and then they realize I don't want to be, or they realize I could have done things different. Like I never want to think that when I get older and shit, like I don't want to regret if I just stayed on this path longer, I could have had it. Or if I didn't give up on my dreams, I could have done it. Or if I started this business, if I talked to that girl, whatever
just
it is.
Living in the ifs. Yeah.
I never want to think that, because it's the worst feeling, because you can't do anything about it. Like it's just it had to end like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like a lot of us sometimes will put things off, like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm gonna start new year, new year, new resolution. Like, nah, like you might, start today. You only have right now. Like,
you don't know if tomorrow isn't a guarantee, right?
Yeah, it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, all you have is right now. And the biggest thing I tell people is that it's your choice, your decision. Like that's it. If it's either you're going to make a decision to grow or you're going to live in fear. Yeah. That's it. And that's where like free will comes into play. Like we say things are divine and stuff, but it's your choice for it to be great. Like it's like you got to build faith and courage to get to that point where it does work out and it manifests into great things. And that's like your choice, whether to believe in the positive and love things and care about what you listen to, not focus on negative things that are coming into your feed on social media. All that has to play a part in it. And as long as you try, I think like that's it. As long as you try, it doesn't have to be perfect, but the universe just knows like as long as you're going in a direction, you're pushing yourself, it's going to reward you all the time.
I have another line where I was like, even the most rich still struggle with the balance. So watch which way you leaning on.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a bar.
like we're always going to have that struggle with balance or feeling like, you know, got to get this done, that done. Yeah. But it's just like, if you combating and I feel like when we were talking about my garden, like that makes me realize sometimes like my balance, I might have to water here a little more than the next day or, you know, tweak little things differently depending on the day or the season.
Yeah.
Same with, you know, things in my life. Like I might have to make a beat before I go to work just because I need that fulfillment. Like, or, you know, just like doing things like that. Like sometimes you might have to do what you really need for yourself, then just always.
Yeah, there's a time for everything.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a time for Wayne Dyer. He's a great speaker. He said he's you know him?
Yeah,
right?
I'm familiar.
Yeah, he said in one of his talks, he said there's a time for everything. There's a time for action and there's time for rest. There's time for being ahead and there's time for being behind. There's time for failure, success, that like all of it. There's a time for.
That's good to keep in mind.
So never think that because what if I'm not having creative ideas right now? There's a time for that. There's a time for not being creative. There's a time for being creative.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and it's so hard to keep that in perspective.
Yeah.
Like I talked about before the podcast.
Keep that in my head, honestly.
Yeah. We overthink shit so much, but then once you ground yourself in that belief, like the second I heard that, I replayed it like 10 times because I had to drill it in. Like every time I am not in a circumstance or situation that I like, there's a time for it, no matter what. And there's a time for success and everything that you do like as well.
I'm gonna drop another bar on you.
All right.
Reminding myself I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Exactly.
Still waiting for the recognition, like when is they gonna notice me?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Like, even like what you're saying, sometimes I'll be going hard and my body's like, I need a rest. Like, and I don't even like taking naps, but sometimes I have to take a nap. Like, that's part of, you know.
What there's a time for.
Yeah, there's a time for that.
Exactly. Man, how long have we been going, bro? Like,
I'm not sure.
Hour 30.
Hour 30.
I told you, bro.
Hour 30.
It's almost 1 p.m.
Man, I didn't think so.
I know. Every time I do this, especially in person, I'm like, where does the time go? Because it just seems to pause. Like it felt like maybe 30 minutes.
No, I thought it was maybe 45, like hour 30. I did not know that.
It's crazy how it happens, but
man,
it's time flies when you're having fun. That's what they say. Right?
And this right here it's a powerful thing that we doing. That's a movement. It's I feel that. Yeah,
I love doing it no matter what. Like I just do it once a week because I don't want it to feel like I have to do it because like I said, sometimes you might feel that you're overdoing it where that's all that you're only looking towards the future on, okay, I need to get another guest. I need to put out another episode and shit like that. When all you're thinking about is that instead of enjoying the moment, enjoying the conversation, then you lose sight of why did I really do this? I didn't do this because I had to keep putting out episodes every week. I did it because I want to talk to people that I love talking to, right?
Yeah.
That's the main reason. And when I lose sight of it, I just say like, all right, I'm not going to focus on that and just focus on the present moment. What can I do right now that's going to make me happy and be at peace? That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Doing what you feel you need.
Yeah, that's it. And should we wrap it up? Do you want to wrap it up here?
Yeah, we could wrap it up. Mixed Emotions coming November 30th. Stay tuned.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate this. I appreciate connecting.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, man. Like, this was a great conversation, a great time talking to you, because
and I'm going to be learning off of this, playing it back.
Really?
Like, there's some things I need to consume
hear it again. Yeah. I always like listening to it because I edit it and stuff.
Yeah.
And I listen to it back. And I always like pick things apart that I, even if, as I'm sitting here, you might have said something, but since I was thinking of something else, maybe at the point, I didn't hear it fully, and playing it back, you could hear it. And now once it's on YouTube, that's what I love about like having the internet, is that it's there. Like it's 2 years from now,
digital
I can
assets. It's a real thing. This is an asset. Like,
definitely.
Down the line when it starts growing, like, I had this. It's an asset. You know, people come back and the views go up a little bit. Yeah,
even like episodes a year from now, like people will still watch it. Like that's crazy. It's insane how it all works.
Yeah, but like even with music, there's like the top song. I think, I don't know if it's top song right now, but it was a top song for a while. It came out like 4 years ago. So you know, the time for it's just when it happens.
Yeah, it's like when it happens. You just gotta let go and trust that there's a time for it. And thank you again for coming on.
Appreciate it.
Hope everybody enjoyed the podcast. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a lovely day. Peace.
One love.